Yo, everybody, it's your boy Oni, and today I'm bringing you a Yandere Girl What If. To be what if DEKU had this person as from Demon Slayer as a Yandere girlfriend. If you guys want more of this series, please let me know in the comment section down below. It helps out a lot for the channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our video, and also subscribe because it's free. Easy to use, you don't have to do it again, just make sure you subscribe. YouTube's unsubscribing people from my channel, so please hit subscribe. You know, get out. As the same things from canon would happen, as Izuku would rush in. Shinobu will be standing there in shock seeing her lover run in without a second thought. But she would run in after him after 2 minutes, but after those 2 minutes have passed, Izuku will be flung out of there, as the only thing that was there was shouting, "I am here." As the moment that was shouted, the sludge villain was no more, splattered, bruised, splattered all over the ceiling, some of it being even no more from the fire that was surrounding the area. As the sludge villain was splattered, Bakugo was saved. Izuku was caught by, death arms in Tamoi Woods. As Izuku will be brought to the ground and rekikyued, and Bakugo will be praised. As Shinobu would come over to Izuku and hug him and tell him to come on, let's go. As Death Arms would grab Izuku by the arm, pulling him back. "Excuse me, miss, but we have some couple more questions to answer him." As Shinobu would cut him a glare. "The only thing you're doing is crushing his dreams and making him depressed. Now piss off," she said. As Izuku didn't hear that, hearing that his dreams were being crushed. Izuku didn't hear what Shinobu said, so Izuku went along with it and walked home with her. As Izuku would be walking home, the same things from canon would happen, but Shinobu would be with him to hear the secrets about One for All. Shinobu would try and deny it for Izuku's safety, but she knew Izuku wanted to be a hero more than anything. So she allowed this one thing, but if Izuku got hurt more and more and more often, she would try his best to pull her out, or pull him out from the hero course, and bring her to him by force. As Izuku would accept the quirk, as the vigorous training montages would begin. But before we come back to Izuku, let's do a little bit of Shinobu POV. As Shinobu will be staring at Izuku every single day of his training, she would make sure he was alright. But she wanted to actually get into medical school so she can learn more about her quirk and how to make different types of poisons. But she knew she could do that online, but she knew she wants to work with Recovery Girl to try and use her poisons as a numbing agent for surgeries and so on. And she could even use her poison to even heal someone if she focuses hard enough, but the healing process is nothing compared to Recovery Girl's. As she would walk over to her home and get to writing. She wasn't physically strong, than most people, but she could make a blade that surrounds her poison like substance to absorb into the handle and bring to the blade. She took this idea from Izuku, what they said as children, so she used that for her advantage and made her weapon. "That's it," she said, as the blade a couple of days later would be made in a forgery, as she would be happy for the design made and everything, as she would reach for the blade. "So, how does this work exactly?" she said. "Well then, activate your quirk and focus all your, sweat like poison into the blade, and slice at this, dog's leg, I would think. Let's just say this dog lost his leg, or a dead dog lost his leg, and he just still had it for some reason. As Shinobu would actually slice at the dog's leg, cutting it in half. As the moment it cut in half, it was slowly melting, as the poison from what she would made would have been hyaluronic acid, being one of the strongest acids that she could make without straining her body a lot, as the poison would spread throughout the dog's leg, making it faster and faster to deteriorate, like what venom would do when it eats its prey from the inside out. She would give a devilish smile inside of her head, leaving a small shiver to go down Izuku's spine, leaving him shocked. As we cut back to Izuku's POV of training. Hey, Midoriya, would you like to learn hand-to-hand combat? All Might said. Yeah, sure, I would like to, he said, as All Might got into one of his famous stances for his fighting poses, as All Might instructed Izuku to throw a punch at him like he would normally do. But All Might told Izuku to change his stance up a little bit, and to bend his fists and shoulders and even waist to twist the moment he threw a punch. As All Might taught Izuku this over and over again, until Izuku was able to make All Might's face bruised slightly. That's it, young Midoriya, you're learning it, All Might said. You sure I'm not doing anything wrong? I'm pretty sure, my friend. Now, one last thing before you go for the day. You go, All Might said, poking out a piece of his hair, giving it to Izuku earlier than canon. You sure, All Might? It's only been 6 months. I'm sure. You're better off learning it now than later. If you learn it now, you'll be able to have a nice grasp on the quirk, and you'll be able to learn it a lot more, he said. Yes, sir, Izuku said, as Izuku swallowed the hair from All Might's head. As Izuku felt no different until All Might told Izuku to not come back tomorrow and take a breather. As Izuku did that and went home. As Izuku came back in the next couple of weeks until his body was fully repaired, as the training montage began of learning one for all. As Shinobu would actually be looking at Izuku in just the far end area. Izuku, why do you have to leave me like this? We haven't talked to each other in 3 months. Well, tonight you're gonna be all mine, she said. 'Cause I'm gonna ask you out, she said, smiling out loud. Caught you there. Yeah, there you go. Put your dick away. Yeah, that's what I thought. As Izuku would be walking home, as Shinobu would actually pull out from the corner and just hug Izuku or just nudge into him, not realizing it was him, quote unquote. As Izuku would just say, Shinobu, is that you? Izuku said, I'm very sorry that I haven't texted you in 3 months, but I was willing to just gonna text you tonight. Izuku, hold this, she said, holding him a teddy bear. I love you, she said, as Izuku would blush at that. Excuse me, what? Did I hear you right? Izuku said. Yeah, I love you, Izuku. Would you please go out with me? She said again. As Izuku, XC has crashed. As Izuku stood there not knowing what to say, unconsciously, he would have just said yes, making her the most happiest woman to ever live, making her more and more happier by the second. As she hugged Izuku tightly and kissed his cheek. Bye, Izuku, she said, as she skipped home that day, more happy than a newborn baby's mother. As Izuku would be standing there wondering what just happened until everything registered. I just said yes to a date, Izuku said, as Izuku was walking home, as he finally had his mother finally notice what happened. Did Shinobu ask you out? She said. Yes, Izuku said, stuttering, as she would be happier than for him, as she would just hugged him. My baby boy has a girlfriend, she said, as she hugged him. As the next day arrived, well, not the next day, as the next couple of months for Izuku's training and her, well, being together, Izuku would find more ways to be with her after All Might's training, of course. After All Might's training, he would go on dates with her, hug her in movies, as one day they shared their first kiss with each other, as Izuku would be on the pier of Tokyo, as she would be on the same side as him, of course, as Izuku leaned over and planted a sweet kiss as the fireworks went off in the background. As she would release the kiss, blushing like mad, as the only stuttering words she could even bring up to say was, that was nice, she said, as the blushing didn't stop, as Izuku was more happier by the second because of that one kiss. The day of the entrance exam would have arrived, as she would be taking 2 exams that day, the entrance exam and the doctorate exam, as Recovery Girl will be the one who's actually taking part in that one. Well, monitoring it, of course. Why would she take part of it? As Izuku would be looking at her doing her exam, but Izuku would look away, blushing, as she would rub her leg against his, as they crossed feet like an innocent couple. As Izuku would be happy with this, as the day of when the entrance exam was over, they would actually have a lot of fun together. Not in that way, you fucking weirdos. But that's where we're going to leave the video off. I hope you guys enjoyed. Want more of these videos? Let me know, because I'm splitting these 2 parts into 2 videos. This is part 2 you're reading to right now. Hope you enjoyed. Want more of these? Let me know. It helps out the channel. And also subscribe. We're getting so close to 7K. Enjoy everybody, and have a good day.